In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about an exercise I use for composing. And I tend to give this exercise also to my students if anybody wants to learn a little bit more how to compose and things like that. It's very interesting, I find it, and very fun, right? As you saw in the beginning of the video, I chose a piece from Vicente Amigo, Tres Notas para Decir Quiero. I find the melody there very clear, and the harmonies and everything very clear to play a little bit inside it. Of course, with respect to Vicente Amigo, this is nothing to do with changing his song or anything. I of course not. So it's just simply to just experiment, a little bit of experimentation, let's say, no? Now to do that, we need 3 points, or we need 3, let's say, steps, right? The first thing we need to do is to pick a song. And I recommend a song that's not too complicated, melodically and harmonically as well. Like this one was perfect, I think. Right, so picking a piece that's not too complicated. This is step 1, and step 2 would be, after you choose the piece, to analyze the chords and the harmonies inside it, what's going on. And the third point would be analyzing the rhythm of the melody, which is something very important, and especially Vicente Amigo uses a lot. It's something I love about him because his falsetas tend to make more sense anyway when he does that. What I mean by that, I will show you in the case of Tres Notas, the one I was playing before. For example, going from here, the original one. So for example, I will play you guys the rhythm on the first string to show you what I mean. So it's going like this. Right? And then he repeats again and again, but every time he's changing the harmonies, not to repeat exactly the same thing, and the rhythm is changing just a little bit as well. It's not all exactly the same, not to play it all copy paste, no? So in this case, for example, the first time, let's take the first 3 he did, which is here. Here it's exactly, this is the rhythm of the melody. Now the second time he's going the same thing, but changing the harmonies. Right? Now the third time, not to repeat exactly the same rhythm of the melody, I mean, he changed just a little bit. When he goes high up here, right? If he was going to do exactly the same like before, he would have done like this. Right? Now just to change a little bit, he went, right? And then still in this area, right? That way it starts to make more sense. The piece or even a falseta could be like this, right? So that's what I mean by the rhythm of the melody. These 3 points, very important. Now the first point, like I said, picking a song, it's just try to pick a song that's easy enough to play around with it or experiment, let's say. That's up to you. And then the second thing I want to talk a little bit more about, which was the harmonies, no? If you noticed also in the intro of the video, I changed just a little bit the harmony, right? It's something that Vicente uses. I took from him. I'm playing his piece, so I decided to do something from him also, which is what we talked about a lot, going from the flat 9 and then using the he did in the Estación Primavera, many places, no? So that's the same. We're landing on this point, so just taking the G sharp minor, right? That's what I mean by experimenting by the harmonies. Now there are 2 things to talk about though. I don't want to mix them up. One thing is experimenting with the harmony, different chord positions is one thing. Second thing here is the one I completely changed the whole thing. No, I went to completely another key and I started to experiment here what I can do using the same rhythm of the melody, and I can experiment with more harmonies. That's the other thing. Let me talk about the first thing, which is the position of the chords. That is highly recommended for any level, really, to try. Take this piece, just take this piece and try that. Try different octaves, try different positions. For example, what I did it on purpose. I know it's not exactly like the original here. This one is the same, I believe. and this one. So now if we take other positions, so he took this one, I took this one, or A minor, let's say, or sorry, this one. You can go here, for example. Different position of the chord, right? That kind of experimentation is very, very highly recommended. You can go right, the G major 7 there. Try to experiment inside. Don't stick exactly the same. Of course, with respect again to Vicente or to whoever the composition you choose to play or to cover from. Just for yourself as an exercise, try to change a little bit the harmony. Try to not changing the harmony first. Just try different positions. Take the chords, so A minor, and then going augmented and E9, and then try to experiment. Play the melody and choose or try to see what you can do inside. This is very, very highly recommended to do. And the second thing would be, which is a little bit more advanced, changing the harmony completely. You can take the melody, the rhythm of the melody, let's say, and then go to a completely different harmony. Like I said, this is more advanced. In this case, I did here, or, right? And then I did, let's say. You can experiment with those just to try out the chords and see what you can do. It's a very, very good exercise for composing, really. After that, you can try to, I don't say that you have to get a certain rhythm for a melody first before the melody. Like, you can do that if you want. For example, just trying out certain rhythms, and then you can try to put a melody into them, and then you can do the harmonies. That's okay. I believe after you have done that enough times, experimenting with other pieces like that, you can start to do your own. So finding your own melody or your own rhythm for a melody, and then putting melody, it could be, and then finding the harmonies, and then you can start to go up from there in composing, let's say. It's highly recommended to do that. Okay, so that would be it for this video. I'll stop right here not to make the video too long, and as always, I hope that you found anything useful inside and that you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Here's a small tremolo for you.